welcome to my channel. Today we are going to sew some off-shoulder top. You never open off-shoulder top. So for our top, this is the cutting for front and back, and this is for the flare bodice, and this is for the sleeve. Now if you want to know how to cut flare or circle, there is a link in the description box. Check it and cut it. This one you are going to make it bodice. Say you ever been bodice. So maybe when you get your actual waist measurements, you add the measurement, the amount of fabric you want to gather to your waist measurement, then you divide it by 6.28. Then it will give you this circle. So 6.28 is for full circle. Okay, so let's work on the off shoulder. Bust is 39, but let's run it to 40. And so 40 divided by 2 is going to be 10. 10 plus 2 inches, that is 2 inches for allowance. This is it. And then the 1 inch for that. And so I have 13.5, which is okay. Then this is for back. This is the back, and this is the zip area. And so I have about 2 inches for zip area. Now the waist, from shoulder to waist of the person is 16, but I made it 17. So off shoulder, what we usually do is you take some inches off. That is, the dress is going to be off the shoulder, and so I took 4 inches off it. So I'll just place 4 inches here at the edge here and measure. And so you realize this is my 17. This is the 4. This is my 17. And so shoulder to bust, I'm going to measure 11. 11. And then shoulder to under bust, I'm going to measure 14. So this is shoulder to under bust. 14, including allowance, 13.5 plus half, that is 14. And this place is the shoulder to waist, this 16 plus 1 for sewing allowance. Okay. Okay. So when we come to the neck width for this, we are going to make it 6. This is the neck width. We are going to make it 6. And then the neck deep, so we'll place 4 here. The neck deep for the front, we are going to make it 6. And then the neck deep for the back, we are going to make it 9. But I'll make it 9.5. It's deep. 9.5. Okay. So I made a front 6, but I'm going to go down again because the front neck is sweetheart form. So I'm going to make it 7.5. So I can get my sweetheart. So I'll use my hand to draw it. Okay. It will go down a bit, so I'm going to make it 8 instead of 7.5. It's going to be 8. So whenever you are cutting a sweetheart neck, add 2 inches to the actual neck width, actual neck deep. Add 2 inches to the actual neck deep for your sweetheart neck. So this is it. And then for the back, I'm going to mark here. Okay, and then this is the 9. So I'm going to draw the back. I'm going to use a round neck for this. Okay, so this is it. The armhole we are using is 18, so we'll place 4 here. And then 18 divided by 2 is going to be 9. And so we'll mark our 9 here. And this is it. So we'll use our curve to get it. Okay, so this is it. Then I'm going to get the middle of this. I want to reduce the front armhole a bit. So 5, and then I'll come in by half an inch for the front armhole, and then join it. Okay, so I went in a bit for the front armhole. Okay, so this is it. Now let's place our measurements. It is 10 plus 2 inches. Okay, so this is it, plus the one for the darts. So I'm marking 13 here. This is 34. 34 divided by 4 is going to be 8.5, plus the underbust. I'm going to make a dart of 1.5, so I'll add 1.5. That is 1 plus half, making 10. Then I'll add 2 inches allowance. That's 1, 2, making 12. So this is it for the underbust. When we come to the waistline, 8.5 plus 1 inch for that. The waistline, the dart, I'm going to make it 1 inch, and then plus 2, 1, 2. So it's going to be 11.5, but I'll still place the 12 there. I'll place 12 here. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to join the points. Okay, so let's join the points. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so now we can cut it now. I'll first cut the back armhole. Okay. So this is it. Then I'm going to cut the front neckline. Then I'll cut the back. So this is it. The back, we're going to divide it into 2. I'm going to place this on a lining and cut it. So we are using a sleeve length of 7 inches, including sewing allowance. So at the end of the day, it's going to be 6 inches. Okay. This is off shoulder, and so you are going to mark 4 inches plus 1, making 5. Okay, to measure 4 here. This one is constant. 4 here. Get a armhole. This is it. And so with the off shoulder, you can decide to come here, the shoulder line, you can decide to come in by 1 inch this way and join it to the armhole point here, but I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, now when it comes to the arm width we are using for this dress is 13, and so this is 13 plus, we're going to add 1.5 inch allowance to 8. Okay, so this is it. So we'll measure this here. 7 will be okay for it. I'm going to measure 7.5. So this is it. Okay. Okay, so when we come in, plus So this is it. After sewing, I will cut the excess one from it. So this is for our off shoulder. I'm going to try to reduce the front armhole a bit. You can use the same method we use for the top hole. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to do it this way. And then the trim, let me be sure, this is inside, this is inside. It will be, I have to join right side facing right side before I cut the front armhole. So right side facing right side. Okay, with the top I forgot to cut the front armhole, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've done it. So we are going to cut stiff for this. Okay, we just place it on it this way. Okay, so after we just take it off, and then okay, so at the end of the day we're going to attach it this way. I'm going to iron for it to be stiff, but I will trim it a bit. It's too wide for me. This is it. I'll just divide it into two for both. Okay, so I'm going to iron on top this way. The ironing on top, I'll just pick one of the back. I'll just pick one like this. You don't just pick any, you have to pick that which goes with it. And so this one goes with it. Okay, so this is it. This is right side. So after ironing here, I am going to place this also. The lining here has become the right side, and I'll place it on it this way, and then I'll sew on it. After sewing on it, I'll create a notch and then give it a top stitch. Okay, so after doing this is for the back. Then the front two, I'm going to iron this on top this way. Then after, I'll just pick the front, then right side will meet right side. Then right side will meet right side this way. This way, iron on top, attach the stiff to it. Then I will sew all through to this point, sew, also create a notch and give it a top stitch to a point here, because top stitch you cannot go here, so I'll just stop here and then turn it inside. So I'll do it and show it to you. Okay, so this is how to create a notch. So you make sure you don't cut it into the thread. So this is how to create a knot. Okay, so I'm going to turn it this way and then sew on top. Now do that with all the others and sew on top. And so sewing on top is what we call the top stitch. Sew on top, it will appear at the lining part. So when you are doing, you have to make sure you don't sew here. If you sew here, it's going to appear on the cloth, and so make sure you push it to the lining side and you sew it on the lining. Okay, then after I'll close it this way and sew the zip line, that is the zip allowance, and sew it by 1/2 inch. So I'll do that and show it to you. Okay guys, so I am done with it. I've lined the dress. This is the front part of it. This is it. This is the back, and I folded the zip line. Okay, and this is the sleeve, and I've also lined the flare. And this is what I did. I measured the zip allowance and folded and ironed on top. Same thing here. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is to mark my darts. Okay, I'm going to place the 4 inches I took from it here, and I'm going to mark 11 for the bust, 13.5 for the under bust, and then 14, that is 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm using a dart of 8 inches. So I'll mark 4. I'll come to the under bust too. I'll mark 4. Then at the under bust, I'm going to mark 1/2 and 1/4. Then I'll mark 1/2 and 1/4 also here. So all will be 1.5. So when I measure it will be 1.5. Then I'll come to the waistline. I'll measure 1/2. I'll measure 4 inches at the waistline also. Then I'll measure 1/2 on both sides. 1/2 inch on both. Okay, this way. I measured this 1/2 and 1/4 or 0.75 because I want the underbust to go in a bit. I want it to fit inside. I don't want any fold at the underbust area. So I'm joining the points, and I'm going to use this my curve to draw. So I want the dress to lie flat from on here. I don't want any folding from the underbust to the waist. Okay. And I'm going to trace it and do the same thing at the other side. So this is it. So I'll hold it with pins. You have to make sure that the darts meet well. So you make sure this one is in the middle, and then this and this will meet. Then you pin it. So this is it. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, now we are going to have darts at the back area. I've already folded the zip allowance. I've already folded the zip allowance, so I'll just place it here and mark my 4. Okay, so when I ask for the back dart, it's always supposed to be longer than the front dart. So we measured 11 for the front dart. The back dart I'm going to measure 9, and so this is where it's going to be 9. Okay, then as for back dart, it does not need for underbust, so I'll go straight to the waistline and measure 4, and then measure 1/2 on each side. Then I will join the points. so this is the back dart. I'll do the same thing here. Okay, so this is it for the back. So what I'll do is I'm going to sew the darts. I'm going to sew the darts for both front and back. Then we'll join front and back together. So after sewing the darts, I'll place my measurement on it. So I'm going to place my measurement on it and do all at a go. So the bust is, that is 30, the bust is 39, but we are using 40 for this. And so we'll place it here at the bust line. This is the bust line where we marked our darts. And I'm going to, okay, so this is it. So 20 or 39 is going to be 19.5. So this is 19.5. Okay, so I have 1 2 3 4 5. So I'm going to measure 2.5 on both sides, 2.5 inches. This side is the excess lining, that's why I'm not placing the tape measure there. So 2.5 on both sides. You just have to make sure that it's on the bust line, exactly on the bust line. Then you come to the waist. The waist is 34, and so that's 17. 1 2 3. I have 3.5, so I'm going to mark 1.5 quarter on each side. 1.5 quarter. Okay, then for the armhole, the armhole is 18. So 18 divided by 4 is going to be 9. And 18 divided by 2 is going to be 9. And we've already taken 4 from it. So it means we are going to measure 5. Which is a no. So if nothing at all, we have to make sure it will meet where we'll extend the bust line to that point. So we are going to measure 8. We'll measure 8 because we are going to add sleeve to 8. If not, we can just go straight like this. If you are not adding sleeve, you can just go straight like this. But because you are adding sleeve, we need extra to join the sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to join from there to the waist line. So 8 is okay. And so when we join the sleeve, it will be okay with it. Okay, so this is it. So after sewing the darts, the next thing I'll do is just pick one of the back this way and then join it to this. I'll make sure everything meets equally. Okay, then I will sew on the marked or the drawn line. Then I'll pick this one also, join it this way, make sure everything meets in equally. See, the front armhole goes in a bit. That is why I'm making sure that the meeting will meet equally at this place, because if I try to meet it from this and this, the armhole at the end of the day is going to be short here. So you have to make sure that you get the equality down here and not the armhole, because the armhole, front armhole is down, it goes in. So this way, then I will sew it. So after, I'm going to get it this way. I'm going to get it this way. So this is it. So after, the next thing is the flare. I'm going to make it goddess, and usually I use my hand to make the goddess. That is thread and needle to make the goddess. Okay, and so I have I've already folded the zip allowance area, 1.5 inch both. Okay, And so what I'm going to do is, we need a waist of 34. My thread is like 40 something, so I'll just from here, because I want at the end of the day when I fix my zip, it will meet this way, everything will be equal. I don't want any, the gathers will meet, so I'm starting it exactly where, not on the line of the zip line, but just beside it. Okay, so I'll just be doing it this way. To measure 34, and then I'll be able to pull it up to that point. So I'm going to measure 34. With a thread. So this is 34. So I'm going to pull it to this point. I'm going to tie this point. Okay. So I'm making 3 notches there. I'm tying that place 3 times to get it heavy. Okay, so this is it. So I'll just pull it to that point. I'll just spread it out. All that I'll do is, I'll just, after sewing everything together, take this and the top, after sewing everything together, zip line meeting zip line. Zip line will meet zip line. And then I'll pin it. So this is it. I'll pin it here and get it all through. Pin it all through, and I'll get here also. And then zip line will meet zip line, and that'll be it. Then I'll sew everything on top. So I'll do that and show it to you. Okay guys, so this is it. I'm done attaching the flare to it, sewing every part. This is the back. So I'll just attach a zip to it. This is it. So when I attach the zip, it's going to be like so. This is, I'm going to use this zip. I'm going to attach it in a secret, the way we attach secret zip. I'm going to do it that way. So I'll do it from the down, pull it up, and then later the rest I'll just fold it in and sew on top. Okay, so I'll do it from the down, because at the end of the day I want the client to be able to open it. So I'll do it this way. This is it. I'll turn it this way. And sew on top. This way. I'm using this line as my guide, so I'm not going in deep. So this is it. It's going to be like this. Like this. Okay. Then I'll pin it. I'll come here. Okay. It's going to be like this. Then when I get up here, I'm going to fold it this way and sew on top. And sew on top, so I can hide the excess one. And so this is how I'm going to do it. So I'll do it and show it to you. Then after this, I'll come to the sleeve. This is the sleeve. This is the front armhole. So this one is coming to the front, and this is going to the back, and this one too going to the back. This is coming to the front. So this one is going to the left hand side, and this one is come to the right hand side, so it's this way. Okay, so I'll turn it, and then we are going to place our measurement on it. Okay, so this way. The arm width I'm using is 13, but I'm going to make it 14. So I'll mark 7 here, and then I'm going to, the off shoulder is 4, so I'll mark 4 here, and then from there I'm going to mark the armhole. I'm going to mark 7, and I'll reduce the other one that I made it 8. I'll reduce it to 7, because 7 plus 4 is going to be 11, which is okay for the sleeve. So this is it. Oh, my 7 is supposed to be here. My 7 is supposed to be here. Okay. So I'll sew on this line, and not this. I'll sew on this. Okay. Then I'll pick one of the sleeves, turn it inside. So you just attach it from armhole to armhole this way. Armhole to armhole. We'll reduce this. So armhole to armhole. This way. Then you are going to extend it to this side, but you have to mark where the extension is going to be. You have to mark the points. We have that is when we divide the front into 2. We have 7 here, and so you are going to make it 12. So we're going to mark 6 here. That is 1 inch here, and then we'll measure 1 inch also here. Okay, then we come to the back. So in the back to measure 1 inch. So we come to the back, we measure 1 inch. Also here. Then 1 inch also here. So that's where the sleeve is going to meet. So when you do it armhole to armhole, let me turn it this way. Armhole to armhole, this is where we marked the 1 inch on the sleeve. It's going to meet where we've marked on the dress, also the 1 inch this way. Then this is it. Now come to the back also. Come to the back also. Then this where we marked the 1 inch is going to meet this one this way. Also, so at the end of the day, we're going to have it this way, and then we'll sew through where we've pinned up to this place. And I'll do the same thing at the other side, on this side also. Attach it and sew it and come and show it to you. Okay guys, so this is it. I'm done with the top. I'm done with it. So this is our off shoulder flare gathered top. You can wear it on skirts, you can wear it on trousers, you can wear it on anything you want to wear it on. This actually comes with a tra. So this is the tra for it. If you want to know how I made a tra, please check the description side for a link to this trousers. So this is it. Very nice. This is a bit high waist. So this is it. Thanks so much for watching. Please, if you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing, like and share the video. Bye bye.